Hey everybody! It is 7 o'clock on Wednesday, November 4th, which means it is time for Live Live. And as always, per usual, I am so excited to be here with you tonight. And um, there's rustling because there's a dog in here, so I'm sorry. But this is real life. This is what we're doing right now. So, guys, again, I am so excited to be here with you all today. If this is your first time tuning in to Live Live, I just want to let you know Live Live is a weekly. Um, Live Live is a weekly show that I just now started. And every single week, we're just going to be going through, it's only like 5 to 10 minutes. And it's just kind of like what someone mentioned before, a midweek um, coming face to your face with yourself, a midweek coaching session, a midweek inspirational moment, especially in a week like this week that has been so difficult for so many people, high tensions and that sort of thing. So I'm hoping that Live Live this week will give you a breath of fresh air. So thank you so much for riding along Live Live. And let's jump in. And the very first thing that I want to do is going to be something that I've never done on here before. We're going to start with some deep breathing. And the reason we're going to start with some deep breathing is because of what I just said a second ago. Man, it has been a challenging week. It's been a challenging day. It's been a challenging yesterday on election day. And I just want to create space for that. So I'm going to take a couple deep breaths. And if you'll just follow along with me and don't worry about what your kids or your spouse next to you is doing. Just be weird with me, okay? So we're just gonna take some deep breaths, and here we go. So go in and just hold it for a second, and exhale. And I like shake my shoulders and just kind of shake it out. So do that if you want. So breathe in again, breathe out. We're just being kind to ourselves. Let's do it one more time. Breathe in, hold it. Just give yourself a pause before we jump in. It feels so good just to be able to breathe in such a crazy time like this. And so, yeah, let's get into this though. Yeah, it's stressful right now with COVID going on, with on top of an overall pretty sketchy year, if you ask me. I don't think that I've actually talked to one person that was like, yeah, 2020 was my year. 2020 was the year that I'll never forget because it was so awesome. I've talked to no people that said that. Instead, I've heard quite the opposite. It's been a really challenging year, and I've also fallen into, maybe you have too, fallen into the pattern of going, "Yeah, let's just throw the tree up. Let's get the tree up. Let's do Christmas. Let's do the thing. Let's just get to New Year's Eve, right? Let's get to New Year's Eve and let's do that." I've also heard it referred to as this is just a collective loss of a year. Sounds dramatic, but think about it. A collective loss of a year is what people are saying about 2020. I mean, I'm 28 this year, so does that mean I don't have a real 28 year, right? Like everyone's asking each other this. And I have to say there's some, if you're having a bad day, there is some tendency to kind of lean towards that. Yeah. And you know, I've fallen victim to that. And so wherever you are today, however you're tuning in to Live Live, however you're showing up, welcome. Welcome exactly as you are. And I want to take a deep dive, or yeah, I just want to take a dive into a conversation I had this week with a friend. And I was asking, um, how are you doing? And he said, you know what? I have had so much spiritual growth in the last couple of weeks. So much. And I immediately was like, oh my gosh, that is so awesome. I am so glad to hear that. I cannot wait to talk about it. That sounds so exciting. And he said, whoa, whoa, whoa. Let me stop you there. Um, it's actually sucked. It's actually been a really awful last couple weeks. And I just kind of had this moment of, oh, whoa, I needed reminding of this. You don't always have the most impactful growth when everything is sunshiny, everything is easy, everything is just smooth sailing. You might be having a good time, but it's so hard to really authentically grow in that because you're not being pushed, right? I like to think of it like plants. You stick a seed down in there in the ground in the pitch black, right? You cover it with dirt and compress it, and then pour freezing cold water on top of it. And all of a sudden, it's the worst condition, but at the same time, it's the perfect condition for growth. And sometimes I want to look at growth like that because it makes it tangible. And it's something that we can look back at this conversation I had with my friend and go, oh, okay, well, it makes sense why you've had kind of a cruddy last couple weeks. You really did grow, though. And if you don't get anything from this Live Live this week, man, take this next part to heart. So I'm going to say it twice. There's been lots of tragedy. I want to emphasize that. I don't want to downplay that. There's been tons and tons and tons of tragedy this year. But if you're here and you're on live right now, or if you're watching later on and you have breath in your lungs, folks, if you have breath in your lungs, the real tragedy of 2020 is leaving it completely unaware of what was for you in 2020. I'll say it again. There's been a lot of tragedy, but the real tragedy is leaving 2020, getting to New Year's Eve, and totally missing it and being totally unaware of what was for you in 2020, where you had to grow, where you had opportunities that you weren't looking for, that you missed out on. And so we have to be intentional about looking for opportunity to grow. It's kind of like if you want like a yellow car. I've heard this said before and it really stuck with me. If you want a yellow car, all of a sudden you're seeing yellow cars everywhere. You're driving down the highway, you're seeing yellow cars. You're in a parking spot, there's like a yellow car 6 miles away from you. There's just a yellow car, like the one I want, right? And all of a sudden, you're seeing this stuff. We have to start thinking about our growth and our opportunities that way. We have to start intentionally seeking out and looking for the opportunity. So I want to ask you, and I want to leave you with one thing. Well, a couple things, series of questions, but one trail of thought. What is not easy right now? What is not easy right now? Where are you growing right now? Do you know where you're growing? Are you aware of where you're growing? Do you need to lean into that a little bit more? What is hard to swallow this week? What's hard to swallow right now during this election process, during COVID-19, during this lockdown? What's hard to swallow? What are you coming to grasp with and you don't know what to do? Or maybe you got news that you don't want to hear, or maybe you're going through something that you didn't even plan to go through because you spent so much time with yourself this year, right? What's hard to swallow? Hopefully, there will never be another time as tragic as it seems that this year has been. Hopefully. But you know what? If we don't look for the opportunity, we will miss it. We will miss what this year has to offer, the good, the opportunity, the growth, the things that another year is not going to teach you. So my challenge to you is to lean in. Lean into the darkness. Lean into the growth. Lean in when it's tough, when it's scary, when you don't know the outcome. This is the year to do it. This is the year when things will change for you. I believe that, and I know that because I've been walking it too. I'm gonna end this like I want to end every Live Live, with just reminding you that I truly believe this. Something good is going to happen to you and through you this week. Something good is going to happen to you and through you this week. I want to give one opportunity to just have some action in the comments. And if you're watching this later on, definitely comment on it. I'll definitely want to talk with you through it. But give me one word that you can commit to. Maybe you need time to think about that, and that's totally fine. But give me one word you can commit to trying to chase after the last 2 months of this year. What is one word that you can try and chase after? That doesn't mean you have to be successful all the time, but what's a word you can chase after in this last leg of 2020? And I know that these comments are going to be coming up a little bit later, so now I'll get back to you. But guys, it has been such a blessing to spend some time with you. Thank you so much for tuning in to Live Live, and have a really good week. Be aware of what's in front of you. Don't miss your opportunity.